Alright guys, now I'm going to split the case. But before I split the case, I'm going to remove the chain tensioner. I'm going to disassemble that, take that out, and then I will remove all the bolts and all that stuff, and then I'll split this bad boy. I read the manual right here, splitting the case. It says on the top part of the crankcase, there's a total of 11 bolts. There's 8 6mm bolts, 2 8mm bolts, and 1 10mm bolt. And then on the bottom, there is a total of there's a total of 12 bolts and 2 nuts. So it's 6mm bolts, 10 8mm bolts, and 1 8mm nut and 1 10mm nut. That's basically all the bolts and nuts for the crankcase. And also on the bottom, note 4, it said that it's not necessary to remove the oil pan on the bottom of the engine. On the bottom of it. So the oil pan is on there because it's resting on the floor. I didn't want to damage up the oil pump or any of that, so I'm leaving that on. I left that on. I took it out, looked at it, checked it out, and I reinstalled it. But it is not necessary to remove that. So yeah, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the bolts off the bottom, flip it over, get all the bolts off the bottom, and then get all the bolts off the top, and then hit it with my my little rubber mallet gently, and it should split the case. So hopefully, and then I can take a look on the inside. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna get started on this chain tensioner. All right, to disassemble the cam chain tensioner, see these rubber pucks right here? These guys, you just pop them out. These rubber pucks go right in these 2 grooves on the outside. That's how they sit in there. You just pull them out, just like that. You take off, slide this guy out of here, and then this rubber roller should pop right out. There you go. And then she's out. That's how you do that. And here's like a little inner bearing right here. It goes inside there. Then it goes inside there. Like that. And this guy goes in there. Yeah, it goes in there, and then let's see if I can get it. It's kind of hard doing this one-handed. Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to do with one hand, so I won't be able to do it with one hand. But yeah, that's basically how you install it. Take it out, and she's free. So now, when I split the case, I can just pull the case up and let go of the cam chain, because I'm gonna split the case, so I don't have to keep it in tension anymore. But yeah, so that's how you take that out. Alright, as you see, I disassembled it, put it back together, so it's good as new. Yeah, it looks good. All the rubber rollers look really good. I inspected everything, so yeah, so that's good. So I don't have to replace this. There's a little minor surface rust on here, but I'm going to clean it up before I reinstall it. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Next, all I have to do is start working on this, splitting this case. So I'm going to tilt it on its side and start unbolting all the bottom bolts and those 2 nuts that are on the bottom, and then flip it back over on top and start disassembling the top. And then that will be it. So then hopefully she'll just come undone. So we'll see. Alright, wish me luck. Alright, now before I split the case, after I take the cam chain tensioner off, I got to pull these, get the pistons out of here. So I'm going to pull all the pistons off, and then the case should just come right off. So I'm going to get going on that right now. Now take the pistons off the rods, there's a circlip on each side of these holes right here. So there's a little clip right there, so you got to get the clip out in order to push the rod through this way, and then you'll be able to pull the piston off the rod. But I kind of put this little towel down here just in case the circlip falls down there. You know, you don't want, well, I'm gonna split the case anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But anyways, so basically there's a groove right here that you can get your tool into, and basically just pop out this circlip, and then your piston will be off. I got this guy off, the first one off right here. See, there's a circlip over here, and basically it pops out. See how I got this guy's off, and then there's a circlips in there. It's very faint, but you can kind of see that one. See, that one's still intact. You only really need to take one off, and then you just gotta pull this out, and then you can see the inside. Just pull it out like that, and then it will just it will just pop up like that, and then just push it back in. The manual definitely says recommend to put brand new circlips in each time you reinstall new pistons or work on them or whatever. It's very cheap to replace. So yeah. So I got one off. I'm gonna get the other 3 off, and then I'll be able to split this case. All right, you can see I got the other piston out of here, and you can see the guy. See, it's popping out. You just put it when you install it. You just push it all the way in, and then here's the little circlip you got to replace. You got to take that out. That goes. If you see in the piston, there's a little groove in there. That circlip goes right in there, and it holds this guy in place so it doesn't pop out. But yeah, that's basically how you install and take off the pistons. So I'm gonna get the other 2 out, and then I'll be able to split this case. Alright, as you can see, I got all the pistons off the rods. Now all I have to do is start loosen up all the bolts on the bottom end, tap on the crankcase, and then I'll be able to split this bad boy. So I'm gonna get on getting all the bolts off the bottom and then off the top, and then I'll be able to split it. But here's all the pistons right here, the 4 pistons. I don't know if I'm gonna reuse them or replace them, or nevertheless, I'll at least put new piston rings on. And new the circlips and all that stuff. But yeah, I was just kind of checking the rods. The rods look pretty good. There's no like big wiggle room, which is good. So yeah, they're pretty good. So yeah, so that's that, and I'm gonna get on getting the bolts, and then I'll be able to split this thing. Alright, I kind of inverted the bottom of the engine. In the previous video I said there's only 12 bolts in the bottom. I misread, it was 20 bolts on the bottom, and 2 nuts. So you see all the bolts, there's a bunch. There's all along there, all along the bottom, up here. There's a bunch. And see here, right down there are the 2 nuts, I believe. So there's one there and one there. Those 2. So those are the 2 nuts. And then so I'm gonna get started getting all these 20 bolts out of here and those 2 nuts, and then I'll put the engine back down, and there's 12 on the top. So and I'll get going on that. All right, guys. I loosened up all the bolts on the bottom of the engine. There's a total of 20. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And then the 2 nuts on the back. I have to loosen up those, take those off. But yeah, that's everything on the bottom to split the case. So I am going to pull all these bolts off and put them in bags, label them, so the bottom end crankcase bolts and 2 nuts will be in a bag. All these guys in the front have no washers. All these guys in the middle have washers on them, and all these guys right here have no washers. So just the two middle rows have washers on them, and then this guy has a little wiring bender thing to keep the wires through the wires that come out here. That bolt comes. Wires come down here and go through that, and go through the wiring harness. So take a mental note. I'm just kind of taking a mental note where everything goes. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is bend backs and like holds onto the wires underneath the engine so they're not flopping around. But yeah, so that's all the bolts on the bottom end of the crankcase, and then the 2 nuts back there. I will get those, bag those, and then I'll start on the top, and then I'll split this bad boy. So that's where I'm at right now. Alright, loosen up all the bolts on top. There's a total of 11 bolts on top. Basically, okay, starting for the one that's in the starter housing right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Plus these 2 guys that were with the bolts on the bottom. Both these guys right here. So that's not including the 11, but yeah, so I mean technically there's a total of 13 bolts on top, but 11 actual one that's screwed in. Those 2 are bolted with the nuts on the bottom. So but yeah, so I got them all loosened up, so I'm going to tag and bag them, and then I'm going to try to split this bad boy. So that's where I'm at. Alright, as you can see, I split the case. Here's the bottom of the case. Here's the top of the case. Yeah, it really looks good in there. There's all the transmission, all the teeth look great. That's good. Yeah, everything looks good, which I'm happy. All the rods are in good shape, so I won't have to replace that. The chains look good. It's good. Yeah, everything looks great in the inside. No surprises, so it's really good. So basically what I'm going to do now, I've been thinking of what I'm going to do with this engine. Basically what I think I'm going to do is just do a little rebuild on it. I'm not going to go balls to the walls and do all high performance parts and spend like $2,800 on everything. I'm going to replace some stuff on the engine, obviously. When I bought the bike, it came with all new gaskets, came with all new, all new oil seals, replaced that one, and there's a bunch of other ones on here. So it came with gaskets, oil seals, it came with a bunch of new parts. So I'm going to throw all those on there, all new hardware too for the engine. I'm going to do all that. I'm going to maybe replace the pistons. If not pistons, maybe rings. I'm going to paint the whole case. I will do that. I'm going to paint it black. So today I went to AutoZone. I got some aircraft stripper paint stripper, aircraft stripper paint. So I'll get all the paint off what's on, paint it black. I will. I think I'm gonna re-chrome the valve cover. I'm gonna paint the the cylinder and the head. I'm gonna paint that black as well. You know, I'm just gonna make it look nice. I'm not gonna go spend too much money on the engine. I will spend some, you know, but I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna put new studs. So I will put all new studs in there. I will do that. That's probably the next thing I'm gonna do on this engine is take the studs out, and then paint it, and then reinstall the new studs. So I mean, there's stuff I am gonna do to the engine. I just, you know, I don't know what you know, I haven't even driven the dang thing yet, so I'm not gonna go too crazy in that. As of yet, you know, if I want to spend, you know, a couple grand on the engine down the line, I will. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I mean, I could change my mind later. Who knows, you know? But you know, there's still so much I have to do to this thing before I go crazy on it. So yeah, so that's pretty much it with the engine right now. I'm gonna order some parts for the engine. I'm gonna start painting, stripping it down, old paint, you know, repaint it, and kind of start doing the reassembly on the engine, just so I know the engine will have all new gaskets, all new oil seals, all new, you know, all the little knickknacks will be brand new. Also, I totally forgot, I am gonna do I am gonna check all these guys, and I'm gonna get some plastic gauge and check, you know, all the bearings and all that stuff. You know, I'm gonna check all that. So if I have to replace it, I will. You know, I have no reason of, you know, replacing stuff that needs to be replaced. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Thanks for watching the videos. I hope you enjoy them. And feel free to subscribe and comment below. All right, thanks.